My situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost, I think she'll be 3 next month, don't you know? Good morning, Kelvin. It's my truth.
All right, everyone. I'm certain you all noticed how Kevin Hunter became remarkably silent once he realized he wasn't receiving a cent during her guardianship. Meanwhile, everyone is celebrating his karma. Sharina Hudson remains the one truly suffering. For 16 years, her entire life revolved around Wendy and the millions she made from her talk show. Yet now that the money train has ended, insiders claim Sharina has fallen from luxurious living onto food stamps, buried beneath her failed businesses and efforts to take over for Wendy. And girl, whether you admire Wendy or believe she received exactly what she deserved, reality is Kevin Hunter and Sharina kept pushing everything when they believed she was leaving nowhere.
I'm not going to take a lot of time because, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't going to do this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever bring the energy, the charisma, the passion, the expertise, the talent, and whatever else you want to call it, like you seen Kevin Hunter and my ex, Wendy Williams, and the team that was behind us. And I mean the whole team. That includes my current lady now. Yeah, I said.
Like, really? Like, are you serious?
Before Wendy ever realized another woman was involved, Kevin had already introduced Sharina several different times. Actually, during 2007, Wendy and Kevin threw a blackout party in New York, where Sharina was clearly attending. Back then, she was just 21 years old, and all three spent the evening celebrating together. The only reason those photographs even exist is because Sharina suddenly chose to provide them to US Magazine. Y'all, the level of disrespect was absolutely unbelievable. Most mistresses avoid allowing a married man's wife to discover them and usually accept remaining hidden while continuing to enjoy the advantages. Sharina, however, seemed determined to stay directly in Wendy's face. Kevin allowed everything because he believed Wendy would never walk away from him. Kevin also had no intention of divorcing the woman financing his lifestyle without gaining something. Some people even believed that, considering how much Wendy knew about everyone else's business, she had to recognize exactly who Sharina was. Therefore, instead of damaging her image and losing her husband, she ignored everything, allowing Kevin and Sharina to continue their relationship. The only reason Wendy eventually objected was because Sharina also wanted public attention like Wendy, while Kevin never stopped her increasingly outrageous behavior. Still, if Kevin's sister, Kimmel Hunter, spoke truthfully, Wendy genuinely knew absolutely nothing about Sharina until pictures showing her with Kevin vacationing together appeared across the internet. Naturally, Wendy understood her former husband had been seeing other women, yet she never realized one of them was actually Sharina Hudson.
You know what? Wendy is not stupid. She's very smart. I agree. But when you got this dude that's coming from the hood, that's promising you things, and he's there to be, she's supposed to be there to be a protector. He's supposed to be there to help you, to make sure. No, my brother is not as bad as Suge. You understand what I'm saying? But he was damn near it.
Charlemagne the God introduced Sharina to Kevin, and he became the excuse for constantly bringing her around. Whenever Wendy unexpectedly appeared, Charlemagne would claim Sharina was his girlfriend, and Wendy never questioned the situation. Before meeting Kevin, Sharina had been living inside her car, but her circumstances instantly changed from barely surviving to staying in a comfortable condo he purchased for her. Sharina quickly understood the arrangement after realizing how effortlessly Kevin could completely transform her circumstances. She accepted hiding their relationship because he provided plenty of money along with expensive gifts. Kevin had also promised to leverage his connections to advance her career as a chef. Sharina remained patient, believing he eventually would fulfill those promises. Sharina lived entirely as a kept woman, receiving cars, jewelry, and a home financed with Wendy's money. Reports even alleged that whenever Wendy wasn't providing enough money, Kevin sold possessions and removed items without her permission to fund both himself and Sharina's extravagant lifestyle. Kevin also operated a charity that he reportedly used for laundering money and purchasing presents for his mistress. Actually, whenever Kevin and Wendy traveled for vacations, Sharina regularly accompanied them and even had her own bodyguard, ensuring she and Wendy never crossed paths. During that period, Sharina truly didn't care about Kevin's treatment of Wendy because he continually promised he would eventually leave Wendy for her once the timing became right. Meaning after completely draining everything from her.
Kevin had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl. This is where you show the picture of them on the beach. You know the picture where she's going to the camera and he's laying there on the cell phone like they're chilling like a couple. You understand what I'm saying? The PI was taking pictures of them going to the gym, going to dinner, her with Gucci, Poochie, and Lucci.
Before logging out, Sharina accepted almost anything because returning to her hometown was never an option she wanted. However, as their relationship neared its 10-year anniversary, she gradually began questioning everything. According to Kim, Kevin never fulfilled the promises he had made regarding Sharina's career. Although he kept her satisfied with an allowance and expensive gifts, Sharina craved public attention and became increasingly resentful watching Wendy receive all the spotlight. Beyond that, reports claimed Sharina became pregnant by Kevin music few times, yet he insisted she end those pregnancies to keep Wendy from discovering everything and upsetting music, the woman financing his lifestyle. That became one major reason Sharina eventually started acting out. She gave Kevin ultimatums demanding they reveal their relationship publicly. After he refused, she decided to bring all the drama into public view. But girl, that decision completely backfired on Sharina in a huge way.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear how she helped you and she was supportive and she went with you to Honduras. I don't want to hear none of that. Like I said in the first interview, she was not supposed to be there. They were still mad.
Rather than attracting more supporters for herself and her business, Sharina was met with overwhelming public backlash instead. Online audiences constantly criticized both her and Kevin for essentially attempting to destroy Wendy's life, especially after he openly confirmed their relationship. And the vegan transformation, like I said, it saved my life. There was a point where I couldn't explain my headaches, music, my stomach problems. I went to every doctor you probably think of, and, music, nobody could give me an explanation. Still, girl, I honestly haven't seen or heard anybody discussing that situation. She also launched a clothing brand called Vish, but it failed to gain significant momentum as well. Once Kevin realized he couldn't turn Sharina into another Wendy, you better believe he exited nearly as fast as he arrived. He cleared his Instagram of every photo featuring Sharina, sold the home they shared, and vanished from her life. After realizing the vegan business wouldn't cover expenses and Kevin was no longer someone she could depend on, Sharina rapidly transitioned into selling properties, while her appearance shifted from someone enjoying the soft life to a woman doing everything possible to keep both herself and her daughter afloat. According to Kimball, her brother had probably filled Sharina's mind with endless nonsense, insisting he was responsible for Wendy's success and would accomplish exactly the same for her. That explains why she felt confident enough to reveal everything, because she believed it would launch her into an entirely new level of fame. Although Wendy depended on him for backup whenever she spoke too freely, Wendy built Wendy. She understood exactly what she was doing. She approached her success intelligently, and nobody can ever take that away from her. That became a lesson Sharina learned much too late. If she had realized from the beginning that Kevin was completely full of it, perhaps she would have handled everything differently. What do you all think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, baddies.